There are several sources of weather forecasts in Trinidad and Tobago. The local meteorological office, the TV news, and the daily newspapers provide local forecasts. There are online forecasts available on the NOAA and Wilkins Weather Technologies websites. Modern weather forecasts are compiled with the use of radar imagery. Modern weather forecasts are compiled with the use of satellite imagery. Even with modern technology, the observations of mariners are also input to the data to produce the final product. A boat weather report would look like this on a weather map. The observer is reporting that half the sky is covered with cloud, and clockwise from the top, there are cirrus and altostratus clouds. The atmospheric pressure at sea level is 995 millibars. The atmospheric pressure has risen 16 millibars in the last 6 hours. The pressure has been steady after rising. There are stratocumulus clouds present. The dew point temperature is -6 degrees Celsius. It was snowing on the boat at the time of the observation. The air temperature was -2 degrees Celsius and the wind was 25 knots from the northwest. The local weather forecasts are a little lightweight for inexperienced mariners. Courses like this will help you realize how regional weather systems will affect you. Professional mariners use the Beaufort wind scale to describe wind speed. There are a few things to remember when using the scale. There may be a time lag between the wind speed increasing in the corresponding sea state. The Beaufort scale assumes open ocean, with plenty of fetch, like on the Trinidad east coast. Off a weather shore, like in the Gulf of Paria, the sea state will be less than expected. Don't confuse sea and swell. Sea waves are caused by wind only. Swell in Trinidad waters could be caused by a hurricane over Puerto Rico. When the wind is coming from the opposite direction than the current going, it causes a more choppy sea. When the wind is coming from the same direction that the current going, it causes a smoother sea. Heavy rain smooths the sea surface. Weather forecasters use words that seem vague but have relatively precise meanings. When the forecaster states calm winds, he means winds of less than 2 knots. When the forecaster states calm seas, he means the waves will be 0 to 0.5 meters high, on average. When the forecaster states light breezes, he means winds of 2 to 10 knots. When the forecaster states slight seas, he means the waves will be 0.5 to 1.25 meters high, on average. When the forecaster states breezy, he means winds of 11 to 15 knots. When the forecaster states moderate seas, he means the waves will be 1.25 to 2.5 meters high, on average. When the forecaster states windy, she means winds of 16 to 26 knots. When the forecaster states rough seas, she means the waves will be more than 2.5 meters high, on average. When the forecaster states strong winds, she means winds of 27 to 33 knots. When the forecaster states near Gale or Gale, she means winds of 34 to 47 knots. A weather system becomes a storm when the wind speed in the system reaches 48 knots. A weather system becomes a storm when the wind speed in the system reaches 48 knots. A weather system becomes a hurricane when the wind speed in the system reaches 63 knots. Choppy is a word used to describe a rough sea with waves less than 2.5 meters. Gusty means that sharp increases, more than 10 knots above average, can be experienced. A shipping forecast will provide information about the state of visibility. When the forecaster states good visibility, she means more than 5 nautical miles. Moderate visibility means between 2 and 5 nautical miles. Poor visibility means between 1,000 meters and 2 nautical miles. When visibility is less than 1,000 meters, like in fog, it is described as very poor. When a weather forecast states a weather system is expected soon, she means between 6 and 12 hours from the forecast time. When the forecast says expected later, she means more than 12 hours from the forecast time.